everybody, happy April. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody got their taxes filed on time. Wanted to give you a market update. A lot going on since last month when we had all the concerns about the health of our banking system. Seems like those concerns have faded a bit. We are fully expecting the Fed to increase rates at the next meeting early May, another 0.25%. So certainly signs that inflation is still here, a little bit higher than what Powell's goal is at 2 to 2.5%. I think the latest CPI numbers came in at around 5% for inflation. So still room to get that down. We did have existing home sales actually finally increased month over month, about 14.5% nationally from January to February. So we got those numbers last month. And that's actually the biggest increase that we've seen in about 18 months. Although year over year, we were still down in all sectors. So just not a lot of listings. We've talked about that in great length. We've talked about that several times. Rates are up. Rates, as we're expecting the next Fed rate increase, 30-year fixed is somewhere mid sixes currently for well-qualified buyers. That's up. We had touched high fives a couple weeks ago. So rates are up currently, likely to be up through this next Fed meeting. But then we are expecting rates to kind of settle down a bit and come back later this year. So some economists believe that we'll see rates in the fives. Some even think that we may see high fours. So we'll see. Rates should continue to improve through the rest of the year and then into 2024 as well. So nonetheless, even with higher interest rates, we're seeing market times, at least locally, continue to shrink. Average market time in the Chicagoland market is down to 42 days, and this is down 8.7% year over year, which is crazy. Again, average market time in a neutral market, not a buyer's market, not a seller's market, is believed to be around 6 months, around 180 days. So we are sitting at 42 days. Obviously, we're going to start to see some appreciation. Appreciation nationally was about 3.8%, at least on the February existing home sales report by the National Association of Realtors. The Chicagoland market, I think, did a little bit better than that at 4.8%. So we're almost 5%, about 1% ahead of the national market. So left a chart below showing the top 20 most populous cities in the U.S. just to show what's happening in those markets. Some are obviously doing better than others, so you can check that out. I thought that was pretty interesting. But average appreciation since 1963 has been about 5.77%. So this is 1963 is when the Fed started charting this data. You can check out that link. So the average rate of appreciation since 1963 is about 5.77%. I would expect appreciation this year, likely appreciation in 2024 to be somewhere around that mark. So the question becomes, if your home's appreciating at 5 to 6% a year and you're paying around 6.5% for your interest rate, how much are you really paying? Well, in honor of all of us recently filing our tax returns, I wanted to dive into that a little bit more. So the example I used in my email below was just a $400,000 loan amount compared a 3% rate to a 6.5% rate. And assuming you are a single person filing independently, you are not filing with a spouse or head of household, compared the standard deduction, which you would likely take if your interest rate was around 3%, assuming you had a loan that you took out in 2020 and 2021 when rates were very low, comparing that to interest rates now. So if you took the rate now I'm guessing you probably wouldn't do the standard deduction. You'd probably want to itemize things. There's monthly mortgage, annual mortgage interest on your primary residence should be tax deductible, and by all means, please consult with your CPA. There's some other things that may be tax deductible as well, such as property taxes, if you have business expenses, etc. I did not want to get into all that. I just wanted to compare interest rates for this example. So that 6.5% interest rate, assuming you're taking now the itemized deduction instead of the standard deduction for that single filer, you're going to get another $3,100 on your return for that $400,000 loan. So that's $3,100 more of a tax return, an increase to your tax return that you would have gotten if you versus filing and just taking the standard deduction. So if we deduct that $3,100 from the annual interest that we were paying, our 6.5% rate becomes right around 5.725%. So interest rates may not be as bad as we perceive them to be, is really my point. So take a look at that. Let me know what questions you have. Please confirm with your CPA. Everybody's situation is going to be different. This is one example. I get it. But I thought that was interesting. And if we're factoring in that that write-off, that mortgage interest write-off, and we've got appreciation of around 5 to 6% a year, how much does it really cost to borrow that money? It's likely much lower than you think. So something to keep in mind. Lastly, I wanted to leave you with some numbers as far as average purchase prices and how they kind of break down as far as the percentage of homes under $100,000, percentage of homes over $1 million. About half the homes, almost half the homes, 45% of all homes sold were between $250,000 and $500,000. This is nationally. So take a look at that graph. Let me know what questions you have. I thought it was fun to look at. So look forward to hearing from you. Let me know what questions you have. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Happy April.